Zoom.com coverage of the 2017 World Cup of Table Soccer from Hamburg, Germany continues as we're going to bring you some men's singles action in the round of 16 and a battle between two Americans. That's Tony Spredeman on the right side, the multi-Tornado world champion, another guy who's won a lot of world championships on this table, Robert Mars. In fact, these two gentlemen won a world multi-table doubles world championship together just a few years ago, and now they're going to have to go head-to-head to see who will reach the quarterfinals. We're underway here in game number one. Best 3 out of 5. It'll all be played on this table, the Tornado. Mars with the first scoring opportunity taken away by Tony Spredeman. Now, for those of you that don't know about Tony Spredeman in singles on the Tornado table, he's putting together a streak that we certainly have never seen in the United States, and it's never been seen perhaps anywhere outside of Frederic Collignon. And over the last year and a half, Tony Spredeman has won every singles competition he has competed in on the Tornado table, and he opens up the scoring here. It's 1-0. And that is something like 30, maybe 35 tournaments that he has played in during that time, and won every single one of them, and that is really remarkable. He is that good on this table, and of course many of you very familiar with his abilities on the Tornado table. And both these guys pretty good multi-table players as well, as we will see this weekend in the World Cup competition. This is also a matchup that we have seen several times in finals on the Tornado Tour in America, with Tony generally coming out on top, although it has happened. Robert Mars has defeated Tony in a final previously and in a few other matches. Tony Spredeman now up 2-0 as he finds that near corner. As we said, the winner of this would advance to the quarterfinals. It's got to be tough playing against your doubles partner, and especially if he's Tony Spredeman, and it's 3-0 and timeout called by Mars. This time Tony going to that far side. Tony is as good on his home table as any player in the world on their home table. I think that's a fact we can say pretty safely. Certainly there are great Bonzini players, Kevin Hunsthofer on the Garlando table, of course, but on his home table, Tony Spredeman as dominant as you are going to find. Brian Moore, the other American superstar, already in the quarterfinals, along with Hunsthofer and Meyerhofer and Lin, Di Santo, and Haas. And Yannick Correa still in as well. Right now, 10 players remaining in singles.
Not watching that thing. I got my hands full with this guy. All right, for once, I'm ready to go. Time in. That's one for me.
Down 3-0 here in game number one. Spredeman with another opportunity here. You have two Americans, a player from Luxembourg, a Frenchman, a German, a couple of Austrians, a Swiss player still alive, 3 American players, and of course make that 2 Germans. 3-0 lead for Spredeman here in game number one. Robert Mars, the captain of the United States team. Many people consider them the favorites here this weekend, and certainly when you look at their lineup, it is hard to dispute that this is a team that certainly it's going to take a lot to defeat. Nice pass by Spredeman, 2-rod to 5. Tony tic-tacking, passing down the middle. Now setting it up, looking for a 4-0 lead. Tony Spredeman loses it and calls timeout.
There's so many games within the games going on over here, Dan. You don't even know, Bubba. One each. Check that one. It's not super loose, so that's all it's going to do. Yeah, just making sure. All right.
Tony Spredeman will put the ball back into play. looking to extend his lead here in game number 1. Spredeman tried to take it out to that far side, knocked up into the air and off the table by Mares. Certainly when you're talking about the most famous players in the world of table soccer, I think these two guys are going to be in the conversation. Spredeman, of course, has traveled all over the world playing table soccer, and he is such a captivating figure on the table when you watch him play. Robert Mares, a man who has made friends all over the world, certainly one of the true ambassadors of the sport. Spredeman through the lane, went with a quick pull kick just off that corner. And back comes Mares. So Robert on the scoreboard. Watch this. Mares got it, set it, and angled it nicely into the goal. These two guys, great friends, partners, but always competitors as well. Spredeman with another possession, and that's always been the key to Tony's game, is his ability to get possessions on the shooting run. It's one of the great fibros you're ever going to see. That one pounded in. And Spredeman up 4-1 here in game number 1. Watch this. The shot attempt off the man, bounces, and then boom, the pull kick. Spredeman now can close out game number 1. He walks it, strokes it home, and just like that, Tony Spredeman has come out to claim the opening game of this round of 16 men's singles match as he finds the near side of the goal.
Battling you and the table, dog. I know you got little issues over there too, but
this is a matchup of two Americans, and of course in the men's doubles competition, kind of an unfortunate turn of events for these two. Tony Spredeman and Robert Mares, who qualified in the top 3, had to face their fellow American team of Tom Yor and Todd Lafredo in the men's doubles competition in the round of 64, because Lafredo and Yor did not qualify very high. They did go 5 games, but it was Yor and Lafredo who ended up winning and eliminating these two in the men's doubles competition as they finished 33rd. So I suppose Tony would tell you that they should have just beaten them, that's all. But because Lafredo and Yor did not have a great qualifying round, it set up that early bracket confrontation, and it eliminated the former world champions. Because anytime you have Todd Lafredo on your team, you've got a chance. And Tom Yor played well. They ended up advancing one more round before losing, but Spredeman and Mares with an uncharacteristic low finish.
oh, it's time. Are you keeping that thing blown the whole time? Here, buzzing.
This is a title that Tony Spredeman has never won. He has been in the finals twice in men's singles at the ITSF World Championships.
I just heard it. I didn't know what it was.
But he lost in 2009. And look there, Robert Mares has a lot of fans, and there's one of them.
There you go.
Second game underway. Tony gets the left hand back there to keep it out. Mares. Rob trying to pick up the pace a little bit. Not sure that's a great idea against Tony. But Tony lost in 2009 to a young Yannick Correa. And then lost in 2014 to the great Danish player Sven Bonsil in the final. That 2009 World Cup also featured an amazing singles match between Tony Spredeman and fellow countryman Ryan Moore, which was eventually won by Spredeman something like 16-14 in the final game. And Mares trying to bring it back near side, blocked up into the air and off the table. 1 1-0 lead for Tony Spredeman. Look at this one again. Rob took it out. That one blocked by Tony on that near corner. Up and off. Still no score here in the second. Winner of this one would face Thomas Hasch of Germany in the quarterfinals. Mahrez can't quite reach it, so he'll put it back into play on his 5-row. And that one knocked back into the goal by Tony. Spredeman seemingly in control in this singles match. And watch here, the pass attempt was blocked off the outside wall and in. And Mahrez on the scoreboard with a beautiful push shot from goal. That's something that Robbie does extremely well. Comes across very quickly and angles it right down the middle of Tony's defenders. 1-1 here in the second game. These two, of course, major members of the United States World Cup team. In fact, Rob Mahrez, going back to the original World Cup back in 2006 here in Hamburg, has played on every American World Cup team. And again, Tony Spredeman playing some great defense. Mahrez has been a member of 4 gold medal World Cup teams with Team USA. I believe this is number 9. This is the 9th World Cup that has been held since that first one in 06. Again, Mahrez has been a member of every one of them. And he's a major part of the USA team. Tony Spredeman, of course, one of the real studs on that team as well. A team that also features Ryan Moore, Billy Pappas, and Todd Lafredo. That's a pretty good roster. Spredeman walking it. Trying to come back down the middle. Mahrez makes the block and takes it away. Still 1-1 here in the second. Shot attempt by Robbie up the table. Picked up with a left hand by Tony. Tony can pass from here. He can also shoot pretty well with that left hand. Does get it through to his 5. Steps into the forward position. Comes with that left hook. Mahrez reacted to make the block. Tony again along the wall smoothly. And stroking it home to the far side. Robbie, I think, was waiting for him to move the ball around, maybe walk it, rock it. Instead, Tony went right to the ball, and right to the back of the goal. Spredeman in control here, loses it. Comes back to Mahrez. And a great opening ceremony tonight. We hope you all enjoyed that. Biggest field ever for this event. 36 national teams introduced. 3 new Hall of Famers introduced as well. That shot wide of the goal. Mats Haas awaits the winner in the quarterfinals. Spredeman, of course, the great ball handling, a great 5, and a pretty good 3 as well. Shot attempt, though, blocked and taken away, sent back the other way, and then into the goal for Mahrez. Watch this. Spredeman's shot attempt bounced, got knocked, bounced, and then right back off the man, off another man, and a lot going on that play. And it results in a goal for Robert Mahrez. Gotta love the replays. 2-2 here in the second game. Spredeman will shoot for the lead from snake shot position. Tony walks it, fires it home to the near corner. Tony aggressively walks that ball, taps it, fakes before exploding to a corner. He is so effective. He steals it away here from Mahrez. Pass attempt along the outside wall. Tony's going to pick it up. Spredeman trying to come down the middle. Mares with the block. So you look at the names remaining in this event, and it is quite... You look at Yannick Correa, still alive, a former multi-table world champion. Ryan Moore, a former world multi-table world champion. Kevin Hundstorfer, a two-time former world multi-table champion. You toss Tony Spredeman into the mix, and it doesn't get much better than that as far as singles players go. And Tony, of course, is going to have to survive this one to get to the quarterfinals, but so far so good for the great American player, and we've got a timeout here. Robert Mares living in the state of Colorado in the Rocky Mountains, in the greater Denver area. Tony Spredeman currently in Ruskin, Florida. But about 3 months ago, Tony Spredeman sold his house, bought a very large RV bus. Maybe some of you have seen the pictures on Facebook, and he's now living in that, and it's quite a beautiful vehicle and home for Tony. Spredeman walks it, trying to take it out to the far side. Mares walks it up into the air and off the table. Robbie has earned the right to put it back into play. Two lead here in the second game. Mares along that wall, taken away by Spredeman. Tony again, tic-tac smoothly along that far wall. Spredeman strokes it home near side. It's 4-2. Tony again, exploiting that near corner. He takes a look, and he's so good at reading the defenses. Found the right hole at the right time, and he's up 4-2. And this second game after winning game one, and one knocked towards the goal. These two guys, two-time former Tornado world champions. Spredeman again with a block. That one goes up the table, picked up here near the goal by Mares. Robbie off the man. Spredeman keeps it out. Now we'll step back and use the left hand. And that one knocked back into the goal by Mares. It's 4-3. Spredeman trying to pass it here. Mares, who knows Tony's game pretty well, able to get a man on it, knock it back towards the goal, off the man, and into the goal. And now Spredeman able to advance it. He'll set it up looking to claim game number 2. Tony Spredeman. Trying to come back down the middle. Mares with the block. Comes back to Tony. Spredeman has it intercepted by Mares. Robbie can tie it at 4. He flips, walks, and then strokes it home far side. So a great play there by Mares as he makes the steal. Not an easy thing to do against Tony. And then finds the far corner. 4-4 here in the second game. Spredeman tried to go with a quick left hook. Mares got a man on it. Then Tony through the lane. His second chance in this second game. Spredeman walks it. Trying to come near side. Mares with the block. Rebound comes back to Tony on the far. Mares has really defended Tony quite well. But Tony just keeps coming at you, keeps getting possessions. And Spredeman finds the middle of the goal after faking to that far side. So Tony Spredeman has come out to get the first 2 games of this round of 16 men's singles match. The fake to the far side and the shot right down the middle.
One's all I need. One's all I need.
Switch, huh? Let's see that before.
Here's Spredeman after that beautiful shot by Mares. And that one's going to get behind Robbie. Watch here as Tony shot attempt spins and then squeezes in. 2-2 here in the third game. Tony again working it up the table. This again has always been the strength of his singles game. It's a ball control. It's a time of possession approach to the game. Frederic Collignon, another outstanding all-time player, a similar sort of approach. Went up into the air and off the table. When you are passing the ball 2 to the 5, you know where that ball is going to end up most of the time. If you're a good passer, 2-rod to 5-rod, it's going to be there. When you're shooting it, oftentimes, if you're not scoring it, you don't know where it's going to end up half the time in the possession of the opponent. So percentage-wise, it's a good idea to at least have that pass in your repertoire. You shot a shot attempt there off that outside wall and in, and Mares now has surged ahead. Tony will look to even it up. And he does, as he strokes that one home. Tony again, down the middle. And back comes Spredeman with the quick shot here. It is match point for Spredeman. Spredeman working it up the table again. Tony in position now to advance to the quarterfinals. And intercepted by Moritz. Robbie could use this one. As he sets it up. Shot attempt knocked down by Spredeman. Squirts back to Tony in the goal area. 4-3 lead for Tony Spredeman here in game number 3. Another interception. That's 3 steals for Robert Moritz against Tony's passing 2-run. Don't see that very often. Moritz will call timeout. You saw there the quick pickup by Tony after the steal. Knocked it in to take that lead. Sometimes Tony Spredeman can score goals 2, 3 in a matter of seconds.
Like it would matter. Forward here. One for me.
Robert Moritz will put the ball back into play. Robbie walking it and then taking it back out to the far side. That's a beautiful shot by Robert Moritz. Not an easy one to do. Watch this. As he walked it one way and then took it deep out to that far corner. 4 here in the third. It remains match point for Spredeman, who will call time out.
I think I had the DT.
Moritz getting a grip. Hoping to get a win in this third game. But Tony has the ball on his 5-rod and puts it back into play. Tony tic-tacking. Dancing with the ball. Bounce pass through the lane and Tony can win it. He'll set it up looking to advance to the quarterfinals of men's singles. Tony. Tried to take it out to the far side, and Moritz with a nice defensive stop up into the air and off the table, so Robbie has earned the right to put it back into play. Watch this. Moritz comes off the hold and gets right back out there to make the block. Moritz. We'll call timeout.
Something on the table. I'm going to wipe it.
Yeah, wipe
the ball is right on.
Yeah, get it.
The towel's right here.
Here's one.
Tony, a little cleaning for his buddy.
Thanks. Yeah.
You're out of here.
Yes, I am.
Moritz will put it back into play. We're still tied at 4 here in game number 3. Tony Spredeman leading 2-0. Or this one would advance to face Germany's Thomas Haas. Moritz. Shot down the middle on goal. Spredeman positioned properly. Makes the stop and will now step back with his left hand. Does get it past Moritz. Stepping into the forward position, Spredeman. Almost lost it. A little lucky to get it back. Tony through the lane. There's the pull kick, and there's the match. Tony Spredeman closes it with his signature pass to the pull kick. This is always a fun one to replay, folks. There is no more exciting single play in the world of table soccer than this one. The pass through the lane and then right into the pull kick for the win. Tony Spredeman advances to the quarterfinals, and we're really developing quite an awesome quarterfinal round with names like Moore and Hunstoffer and Spredeman and probably Correa in the final 8.